Shopify has been making some interesting decisions in the past few months, and a couple days ago I got words of news that are pretty interesting, maybe even concerning to some people. But in today's video, we're going to break down this news. I'm going to give you my fresh opinion as someone who's been involved with Shopify for a very long time, not only as a seller, but also as a partner and investor. So the news that I'm talking about is that Shopify announced that they're going to be outsourcing many of their customer support roles to the Philippines after they laid off nearly 10,000 employees a couple months back. I don't know if you remember, but I definitely covered those news whenever it happened. Shopify laid off a lot of people, and I was actually in support of that decision because they basically overhired and now they're trying to cut costs and become profitable. But it turns out people are really liking that decision. If we take a look at the Shopify stock, it's gone up 8% today, and in the past few days it's gone up 21%. So a lot of people are beginning to have faith in Shopify again, which is really great to hear on my end. As you see, they're making good revenue. In fact, their revenue is up 21%, which is kind of interesting because their stock is also up that much, but their net income is down pretty significantly. So with that in mind, it makes a lot of sense to see them hiring more affordable labor in the Philippines. Now let's get deeper into this because I don't want to just read you a headline and leave you in the dark. As you see here, Shopify has hired dozens of outsourced customer service representatives in recent months, and these contractors help merchants troubleshoot issues on their online stores. The outsourcing came after Shopify laid off 1,000 workers, many whom worked in support. Okay, so that was my bad. It wasn't 10,000 workers, it was 1,000. Now that I think about it, it was Meta who recently fired about 10,000 employees. But let's see, Shopify is stepping up its use of outsourced customer service representatives. 3 workers employed in the company's support division said. These workers, who spoke on condition of anonymity for fear of professional repercussions and whose identities are known to Insider, makes sense, told Insider they'd seen an uptick in the number of outside contractors the company was bringing on to their teams. Insider viewed screenshots of internal communications listing new hires, many of whom were contractors. Many of the dozens of new contractors were hired through the digital outsourcing company Task Us and are in the Philippines. So this is the company they're talking about. It's called Task Us. Let's check out their traffic distribution just for fun. Ooh, it's actually not doing that good, which makes sense. So there's a lot of different hiring platforms for the Philippines, but this one looks very professional. I'm not gonna lie, it looks really clean. I've never heard of it before until just now. Shopify has previously used outsourced customer service agents in India as well, the employees who spoke with Insiders said. The Task Us contractors appear to be taking on roles throughout Shopify's support organization, including on high-tiered teams and on teams that work with Shopify Plus merchants. The Plus merchants pay at least $2,000 a month for a subscription. Knowing how much Plus merchants pay makes this deal that Shopify has going on right now for $1 a month seem even more appealing. If you want to claim this link, you can do so through my partner link in the description. But before I continue, I want to give you my opinions thus far on these news. So this article seems pretty unbiased. It doesn't really seem like they're placing these news as a positive or negative. My unbiased opinion, obviously you guys know I'm a Shopify partner, but I try to be as objective and transparent as I possibly can be. And to me, this is actually not bad news. I'm a big fan of globalizing brands. With my agency at Chemi, even though we work with some world-class brands, I still do have employees from Pakistan, for example, from Colombia, and honestly, it really helps with cash flow because these people can be extremely talented, and even minimum wage in the US, which in my city, for example, it's $15 an hour. So if you go work at Starbucks or McDonald's, you're making $15 an hour. Those sorts of wages go a long way in foreign countries. So I don't view this as a bad thing. In fact, I think this is pretty smart because at this point, Shopify should definitely start trying to become more profitable. They clearly have growth on lock. They've developed a lot of amazing partnerships with Mr. Beast, for example, and they're doing a whole range of things to help sellers, which is of course going to be the key here because that's the users. So personally, so far, I think this is a good idea. Shopify is ramping up its outsourcing after laying off about 1,000 employees, many of whom worked in support in July. Companies across many segments have been looking for ways to cut costs amid economic uncertainty. Support roles have long been considered valuable to Shopify and have historically served as a jumping-off point for employees looking to start their careers at the company. Shopify and Task Us did not return requests for comments on this story. We're really good about getting to the root of the problem, says Shopify. The influx of third-party contractors to Shopify has been unsettling for some employees, particularly after recent layoffs and changes to performance reviews. It terrifies me for my job safety, one support employee said. Tia Silas, the company's chief human resource officer, told employees in a company-wide email in October that Shopify planned to revamp how it evaluated their performance. This came after Shopify laid off about 10% of its workforce in July, and after several former employees accused the company of falsely citing performance issues as the cause of several dozen employee dismissals earlier this week. The support team was heavily affected by those mass layoffs, in part because the company had hired so many customer support representatives to keep up with demand during the peak of pandemic lockdowns. Many businesses were launching their first online stores at that time and needed help doing so. It is a little concerning just after the mass layoff that they did, another employee in support said of the hiring of third-party contractors. It's understandable that some of us are kind of like, are you just getting more people at a cheaper rate to get rid of some other people? Well, yes, if somebody can do the same or a better job for cheaper, that definitely serves the company well if they want to start profiting. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of these employees don't look at Shopify as a business. And as a business, of course, your priority should be your users. So if you can profit more on your business, you can make better changes that serve users. And sometimes that does affect employees. It's definitely sad. I mean, I feel for these employees, but business is business. If we go further down, they say Shopify isn't alone in relying on outsourced labor. GoPuff also recently outsourced its customer service operations to the Philippines as it adjusted its spending in a challenging economic climate. And TaskUs CEO Bryce Maddox said during the company's second quarter earnings call in August that economic uncertainty had led some of its clients to rely more on its services. TaskUs has clients in entertainment and gaming, fintech, health tech, commerce, social media, and travel. In a quest for cost savings, our clients have begun to shift work they were previously doing in-house to our offshore teams, Maddox said during the call. So very interesting news. We're definitely in a state of economic uncertainty right now. So personally, I believe that this is a good choice for whatever that's worth. I've taken similar measures in my business, and I do believe that it's wrong to look at these countries and assume that the quality of the labor is going to be necessarily lower. In my company, for example, some of my overseas employees are earning $25 an hour, which is well above the US minimum wage. And because of that, I get outstanding labor. Like, these people are so talented and smart. So just adding this in here, if you are a talented individual and working with my team sounds interesting to you, I have a careers tab on the Academy page where you can apply and potentially work with us. Applications are always open. I'm always looking for new talent to bring into the company. We have a really big vision. We just signed on our first celebrity client the other day, which is incredible. Very exciting, especially since this is our first year in business. But with that said, let me know what you think about these news. I know that this is probably pretty controversial, but I want to cover everything. I don't want to leave stones unturned. So let me know in the comments, subscribe for more, follow me on social media, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.